The neon buzz of the pentagram city was like an electric heartbeat, pulsating through the streets as demons lurked in the shadows. YN wasn't sure what they had been thinking when they accepted the offer to stay at the infamous Hazbin Hotel. But between the alternative, a bullet-ridden goodbye, and a promise of an actual bed, let's say they took the bed. The choice is pretty easy. YN, dear, wise decision indeed. Alastor's voice crackled with warmth that never quite touched his eyes. The radio demon leaned forward, offering a grin sharp enough to cut glass. Now, tell me, are you one for the classics, swing music, a little jazz? I do hope you're not the type to indulge in modern nonsense. YN smirked, crossing their arms. Depends on what you consider nonsense. Oh, you wound me, Alastor chuckled, twirling his cane. But I do adore a guest of spirit. You'll fit right in. Unbeknownst to YN, their arrival had caught the attention of more than just the Hazbin Hotel's eccentric owners. Across the city, deep within the fortress of the flickering screens and digital static, a certain neon-clad Overlord glared at the interaction unfolding, though one of his many surveillance feeds. Fox's electric blue screen flickered, displaying a pixelated scowl. What the hell is this? Bovat, lounging nearby, scrolled her phone without even looking up. Uh-oh, you look pissed. What, when your stocks drop? Shut up, he snapped, zooming in on the grainy footage. YN was laughing at something Alastor had said, their expression amused, even intrigued. That wasn't good. That really wasn't good at all. What's this now? Alastor picking up strays, Vox asked, more to himself than anything. Vovat glanced at him. Oh, was that YN? The one who told that wannabe kingpin to go choke his own cigar? She snorted. Damn, it's kind of hot, I'm not gonna lie. Vox's static buzzed. He did not like that comment. At all. Valentina, who had been waiting, busy lighting a cigarette, let out a low chuckle. Ain't that something? Never took you for the jealous type, TV boy. I'm not jealous, Vox growled. I just don't like him. He jabbed a finger at the screen where Alastor was now offering YN a drink. Valentino smirked, blowing out a cloud of smoke. Sure. Whatever helped you sleep at night, bud. Vox ignored him. His screen dimmed for a moment, the static drifting into something of an unreadable expression. What's so interesting about that old radio freak anyway? He didn't get it. He was modern, sleek, powerful, and he had the control over the media. Over what people saw, over what people heard. Alastor, he was so outdated, and yet there YN was, entertained by his nonsense. That was going to change. YN had been at the hotel for only a few days, but it was already proving to be quite an interesting experience. The staff were unique, to say the least. Baggy's protective nature was admirable, and Charlie's relentless optimism was refreshing. And Husk? Well, Husk was Husk. And then there was Alastor. The demon had taken quite a particular interest in them. Always appeasing. He was always kind of there, just appearing out of nowhere, with that unsettling grin. But it was fine, really. It was almost endearing in a way. Almost. Tell me, dear, why Alastor purred. What exactly brings you to our humble establishment? Not that I'm complaining, of course. It's just so rare to find such Intriguing company in these parts. Ryan chuckled, swirling the drink in their hand. Oh, wrong place, wrong time, made a few enemies, thought I had crashed somewhere safe for a while. Enemies, you say? Alastor's red eyes gleamed. How interesting. How exciting. And tell me, did these so-called enemies meet a gruesome fate? Or do they still wander the streets plotting your untimely demise? Before Ryan could answer, the room was suddenly bathed in an eerie blue glow. The TV screens on the walls flickered with a burst of static in the air before... Well, if this isn't the life of the party. Ryan turned just in time to see a tall figure materialize before them, draped in a suit and blowing blues and purples. The screen where his face should have been displayed a sharp-toothed grin buzzing with a flickering pixel. Vox. Alastor's own grin didn't falter, but something in his eyes darkened. Ah, Vox. What a wonderful surprise. And pray tell, what brings you to the lovely abode? Vox's gaze, or rather shifting the static, passed for one. Settled on YN. Just thought I'd drop by and see what all the fuss is about. His voice crackled like an untuned radio, laced with something cold. Alastor chuckled. Oh, of course, it's only natural that you take interest. Our dear one does have quite the magnetic presence, don't they? Ryan raised an eyebrow. Why are you guys talking about me like I'm not here? Vox's grin twitched. Nah, sweetheart, I know you're here, alright. He took a step closer, his neon glow casting sharp shadows. And I gotta say, didn't expect you to be this cozy with him. Alastor's laugh was light, but the tension between the two overlords was palatable. Oh, Vox, jealousy is such an ugly trait, don't you think? Alastor laughed. Vox's screen glitched, flashing between distortion and a deep scowl. You wish, he muttered, turning his attention back to YN. Tell me, what's a smart demon like you doing wasting time with this guy? YN glanced between them. I don't know, just, you both seem pretty interesting and interested in me, so should I be flattered? Alastor chuckled. Oh, absolutely, dear. Vox's static hissed. This wasn't over. The tension in the room was thick enough to choke on. Alastor still had that ever-present grin stretched across his face, but something beneath it flickered, something sharp. Vox, on the other hand, stood unnaturally still, his screen glitching ever so slightly, the neon glow around him pulsating in jagged, erratic bursts. Ryan had been in hell a little bit long enough to know when two powerful demons were circling each other like predators, it probably wasn't a good situation to be in. But right now, they were the reason for it. Leaning back in their chair, they tilted their drink slightly towards the two overlords. So, are we just gonna stand around staring at each other, or am I gonna get some context here? Because, damn, if this isn't the weirdest pissing contest I've ever seen. Alastor chuckled, eyes gleaming. Oh my dear YN, I simply adore your sense of humor. Though I must say, I wasn't aware you were taking suitors. He shot a pointed look at Vox, his grin widening. Vox's screen disordered, flashing a brief burst of static before settling into a jagged smirk. Don't flatter yourself, radio reject. I'm here for you. Ryan raised an eyebrow. So you're here for me? Vox didn't answer immediately, his neon-lit fingers twitching as his screen crackled again. His usual smug confidence was there, but there was an edge to it now, something raw he didn't seem to acknowledge before. Alastor hummed, placing a hand over his chest as he moved. Ah, young love. Or, well, not so young, but I do suppose Vox is a relic of the modern age after all. He tapped his chin, though it does make me wonder why this sudden interest. Vox shot him a glare. Interest? Please, I just came to see why they were wasting their time with you. He turned his gaze back to them, with a sharp edge in his voice that softened a little bit. I didn't think you were the old-fashioned type, sweetheart. Wyatt exhaled a laugh, very confused what was going on. Maybe I have a thing for classic entertainment. Alastor beamed and Vox's screen glitched. Yeah. No, he replied, flatly, stepping closer, the neon blue glow casting long jagged shadows across the room. You hanging around him? Yeah, that doesn't add up. You're like smart, aren't you? Wyatt's eyes narrowed. And what's that supposed to mean? They asked. Vox's screen flickered again, switching between a smirk and unreadable static. It means you should be careful with who you trust. Oh, Alastor tilted his head. How ominous. But my dear, televised tragedy, I might remind you that you are no saint either. His grin stretched, voice lifting into something almost like a song. We both know what kind of deals you make, don't we? Vox's entire form pulsated, his colors darkening. Careful. Oh, I'm always careful. Alastor's eyes gleamed, a crimson smile unrelenting. The question is, are you? The two demons stared at each other for a moment. A long, quiet moment. Meanwhile, Wyan rubbed their temple. Okay, so to clarify, we're not gonna start an Overlord brawl in the middle of the hotel, right? Because I just got here and I'd rather not have to dodge death this soon. Alastor chuckled. Oh, perish the thought. I wouldn't dare soil dear Charlie's loveliest ambushment over some petty dispute. Vox exhaled. Yeah, petty. His screen glitched again, pixels wrapping before stabilizing, and then with one last lingering glance at Wyan, he turned on his heel. Whatever. Wyan blinked. You're leaving? Vox didn't look back, his tone clipped. I haven't got time to waste. With that, he stepped towards the neighbor's television screen, his body disorienting into neon static before vanishing completely. Silence stretched between them. Well, Alastor clapped his fingers together. That was delightful, wasn't it? Wyan gave him a look. Okay, seriously, what the hell is going on? That was crazy. Alastor chuckled. Oh, my dear. I explain. Surely you noticed. Wyan crossed their arms. Noticed what? Alastor leaned in, his ever-present grin sharp enough to draw blood. Vox doesn't like to lose. They frowned. What the hell is that supposed to mean? She felt like everyone was talking in riddles. None of this made sense. She didn't even know who any of these people really were. Alastor tapped his cane against the floor, his voice practically dripping with amusement. It means you've caught his attention, dear, he chuckled, turning towards the bar. Now the real question is, what are you going to do about it? Wyan exhaled, glancing at the darkened TV screen where Vox had disappeared. Good question. What was she going to do about it?